Hello, everyone. I'm Sean.
This is whom?
We are the Courageour Frights, back once again to this time give you the year in review.
Yes.
So we're going to do this first time we ever did this. So we're going to do a rundown of 2022, the movies we saw,
Yes.
and then later we're going to talk about movies that we want to see in 2023.
Yes.
So the rules of this is it has to be a movie.
You know, my favorite thing about the movie is it feels like a movie. It feels like a real go to the theater film movie that you kind of the reason why you go to watch something on the big screen.
And it has to be from 2022. No exception.
It depends on how you say what 2022 is.
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Yes.
What's your definition of 2022?
What's your definition of 2022?
Okay, so I'm going to start. So we're going to start at 10 and work our way down.
I'm starting at 11.
Starting at 11.
11 through 8. It's going to be my first.
So this is our top 10, starting with 11.
Yes.
So my number 10. Black Adam.
Mine is insert DC/Marvel movie here. 11 through 8.
It is. It's just literally DC and Marvel's completely interchangeable.
Yeah, so I'll pick Black Adam as well, because it doesn't really matter.
Let's let Flash, Shazam, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. Let's let them know something. Things will never be the same, because the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
Let's be honest, my 6 through 10 is mostly DC and Marvel as well. So Black Adam is my number 10. So I felt like this was a fine film.
Yeah.
But it didn't do anything to further the genre.
Yeah, it felt more like something. I mean, that movie was on kind of development hell for a while, so it kind of felt
15 years or something.
Yeah, it felt like something that happened, that came out 10 years ago. Yeah.
It was kind of the film equivalent of that last Duke Nukem game.
Yeah, pretty much.
It took 14 years to be developed, and it felt like...
It took 14 years.
Yeah, it felt like it was a movie that was being made when it first was in production.
Yes.
So that's my problem with Black Adam. I also, I'm a huge Henry Cavill Superman fan, and the fact that we got him, and then you don't get to do anything with that.
How the fuck would you show me something if I couldn't have it?
Yes.
Actually makes me rate it lower.
Yeah, he was there for 5 minutes.
It's in a way...
Not even 5 minutes.
There's a lot of people talking, and I don't know how true this is, but it does sound like it's at least plausible.
Yeah.
That Dwayne Johnson basically used Henry Cavill as a carrot on a stick to get DC fans out there to sit.
Yeah, it almost kind of feels like that because...
So I don't know. That kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, because they even said he's going to be in it multiple times before. Yeah. It's nobody want to put that as a secret or something. Be like, oh, he's in there.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing about Black Adam is the only really redeeming part of that film is Pierce Brosnan, in my opinion.
Yeah, he was good as a fate maker.
Dr. Fate.
Yeah, Dr. Fate or something. Something with fate.
Something like that. Dr. Strange. No, wait.
Yeah, Dr. Strange.
Something.
Mr. Fate.
Dr. Weird.
Yeah. Yeah, he was good. He was a good part. He was probably one of the highlights in that movie.
Yeah.
And then he dies.
Yeah, and then he dies, so it's so they're not going to have that character again.
So they get rid of all good actors, just kill them off.
Yeah, pretty much. So that is my number 10. So what's next on your list?
I guess it'll be Thor Love and Thunder, I guess. I'll pick that.
Okay. So, audiences, somebody sees this video, I'm going to get skinned alive for this. But Thor Love and Thunder is actually number 6 on my list.
That's the number 6 on your list.
So, we'll let you talk about it.
Yeah, Thor Love and Thunder, it's definitely like, I don't know. It's a very comedic movie. It almost makes like Thor look like a boob or something. He's not like really anything like. He's just like a goofball.
Yeah, he's definitely a dumbass.
Yeah, it's not like his character is just like, I don't know if is like he can be redeemed because he's not like. He's just a funny character. That's all his whole thing is now. Like literally, the first thing is him destroying like a sacred site for laughs. Like,
pretty much.
I mean, they show the Guardians Galaxy there in like the first scene,
Yeah,
but
I wanted more of that.
yeah, it's just like a good. It's a good movie, but it's not like it's not the greatest movie in existence or anything like that. It's just. It's kind of average. I guess it's an average movie.
Yeah, it's average. In my defense,
Yeah.
these are our personal lists.
Yeah.
It's not like we feel like these are the greatest films
Yeah.
or whatever. These aren't what we would submit to the Oscars.
Yeah, exactly.
Although, hilariously enough, apparently Disney has submitted Thor: Love and Thunder as an Oscar for Best Special Effects.
Oh no.
Thor? Can you see me? I no longer go by the name Astrid. I'm now known as Axel. He's a singer from a popular band I heard on Earth.
There are some good special effects in it because you have that scene where it's black and white.
That scene's really
That's
cool.
really good. Like, and also, what's his name? Batman.
Yeah, Christian Bale.
Christian Bale plays pretty good as like what is it?
Gore,
the God Killer or whatever, God Butcher or whatever.
Butcher, yeah.
And actually, Mighty Thor is pretty good. I like. You see, was it Austin? Is that her name? Jane Austen?
Jane
Or
Austen.
something like that.
So that's the ex-girlfriend, is it? Jodie Foster. Jane Foster.
Jane Foster.
Yeah, Jane Foster. Jane Austen do a book or something.
Yeah.
But she's pretty good in that too. But they do like there's another part in that movie that's kind of like it's very inappropriate, I would think, because she's like dying of cancer. And then Thor like makes a joke.
Yeah.
It's like it's supposed to be serious, but he can't be serious. He has to be like a jokester at all times.
Yeah, and that's the problem with this movie. I rate it highly because it's Thor.
Yeah.
And I like Thor. But I'll admit, Chris Hemsworth will admit too, because he basically has, as far as we know, has retired from the character.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically what he said.
So he said he's basically not coming back unless they come up with something fresh and interesting for him to do.
Thor's like character arc is just like he went from being serious to being like serious but funny at times, but then just to be all funny all the time.
And he didn't become a moron until Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Me. I choose to run toward my problems and not away from them.
That's what.
Because that's what heroes do.
This was just more of Ragnarok, but the dumb stuff.
But it's like with the director, Waikiki, or whatever his name is.
Taika
Waititi or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I have a feeling he didn't want to really make this movie.
No.
And you can kind of show, because there was an interview with him basically making fun of the special effects in the movie.
Okay. Does that look real?
In that particular shot, no, actually. It doesn't really, right? When you look close.
Does it need to be more blue?
Well,
you know,
no.
does he look real?
No, none of
Does
us.
she look
Something looks very off about this.
Yeah.
When the problem with Disney was the special effects department was like almost on striking because of their like
treatment.
Yeah, their mistreatment. And it's like that's just being just, I don't know, off base points.
Yeah, that was kind of in bad taste.
Yeah.
So the good things. Everybody in the world has said bad things. Here's my good things. This is why I like this movie. So Natalie Portman is back.
She's really good in that.
So I like Natalie Portman and everything. Chris Hemsworth, obviously, is always good.
Yeah.
No matter how they misconstrue his character. Christian Bale is great as Gore.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's just mishandled again. And apparently a lot of his scenes were cut out of the film.
Oh, did they do that?
Yeah, because I guess they filmed more stuff, and then the studio was like, or Bob Chapek or somebody was like, you have to make this movie under 2 hours.
So they're doing the Warner Brothers thing.
Basically. Another thing that was good, that scene you talked about, the black and white.
Yeah, that was
on that
good.
one planet.
It's very, I like that. I like when they change some of the like filmography a little bit.
Yeah.
And that was one I was like, okay, that's pretty good.
That's another scene that I liked a lot. And the ending part where they introduce Valhalla. I like that.
Oh yeah, with
Heimdall.
Yeah, Heimdall was there, and
But
he's like,
the
"You're in
whole-
Valhalla now."
Yeah, the whole idea that Valhalla exists in the MCU opens up a lot of possibilities.
Which I think is Shang-Chi kind of like dealing with the underworld and stuff.
It's more like the other world.
Otherworld.
It's
Okay,
like
so
a
it's not like-
Chinese fairyland.
Oh,
type
okay.
thing.
It's not like their World of the Dead or something.
No, it's not another
Okay.
afterlife. But they did deal with afterlife in Moon Knight.
Okay, so it might actually kind of connect to that.
Yeah, that was like the Egyptian afterlife because it was like the Field of Reeds or something.
Okay.
And of course, Black Panther also has afterlives.
Oh yeah, that's what they do talk about with the that little other world.
So they have talked. So this is like the third time they've talked about life after death in Marvel.
Yeah, which that could be its own like realm. Itself.
Right. And in case of Jane Foster, she actually comes back from the dead in the comics because she returns as Valkyrie later.
Oh, does she?
Yeah. So I think she's the current Valkyrie, or at least was a recent Valkyrie in the comics.
Oh, okay.
Because this all happened in the comics. She gets cancer and dies in the comics too.
Yeah, because I think that was supposed to be like a serious. I mean, it is a serious moment in the comic book.
Yeah, that's the thing that's weird about this movie is it's a comedic movie, but it's about themes like a guy getting vengeance against the gods.
Yeah, because his daughter dies.
Yeah, and
they don't care about him.
Right, and Thor's love of his life dying of cancer.
Yeah.
So we make a comedy.
Let's make a comedy about death and cancer. That sounds fun.
Yes. I actually did get the omnibus of Thor that has both of these stories in it. It's like 1,000-some pages long. So I may make videos about that in the future. But as it stands, that's my thoughts on Thor Love and Thunder. I'm not saying it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I enjoyed it more than the other one.
Yeah. Like I said, it's enjoyable. It is an enjoyable movie, but it's like, it's just, that I don't know if it's the theming or what, but it's just inappropriate at times. It just feels off. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
I do agree with the criticism of this movie.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying it's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so my number 9 is coming in hot off the heels of Thor Love and Thunder, is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Which that would be my number 8, but...
Yes. Yeah, so we kind of flip-flop on this one. You like this one better than I do.
Yeah.
But I like Thor better than you do.
Yeah.
So we're like kind of flipped on these two.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about, since I kind of hijacked your Thor thing,
that's right.
talk about why you like Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is another one that it has a lot of flaws in the movie.
Yeah.
But the only reason why I like it is because of the director. And because he did the Evil Dead and stuff like that.
Sam Raimi.
Yeah, Sam Raimi. So it has a very specific directorial style, a very Sam Raimi look. Or it had like the weird, like, I guess like a weird looking angle and stuff like that. And like close-ups of the face and stuff like that. It had like a little more of a horror movie, which this was supposed to be the horror movie of Marvel, but it's not really. I mean...
Yeah.
It's like that meme with that SpongeBob meme where they're just riding on the roller coaster's little bump. That's really it. It's like they're going straight and over the little bump. There's your horror right there.
I've actually seen that meme
that's
applied to this film.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. Because they have the scene where you have them, because it deals with the multiverse. So you have, what's that one character? Chavez, I think.
Oh, America Chavez.
Yeah, she kind of can go through the multiverse.
Yeah,
so
this entire movie's an escort mission.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And you have, like, Doctor Strange going through each of the multiverses and stuff like that. I don't even remember how he even got to that point, but...
Nah, I don't know. We're not doing a review.
Yeah, because it's like... They eventually get to that point some point in the movie. But... Because I think Wanda is kind of going into... Because I think this kind of falls off of WandaVision a little bit. Yeah. I mean, this is one of the only movies in Marvel where you have, like, almost like a connecting story, but you really don't need to watch WandaVision at all.
No, there's like that scene at the beginning in the apple orchard.
Yeah.
Where they reference the events of WandaVision, and then they don't do anything with it.
Yeah, because Doctor Strange comes like, this is an illusion, and then she's like, yeah, and it shows it, and it's like all destroyed and everything else.
She's like, all of a sudden, she's like, I'm bad now.
Yeah, I'm bad person, even though she's like been a team the whole time. It's because of like her kids or whatever.
Her kids don't exist.
Because that's, in the end of WandaVision, her kids basically, like, she kind of like made them up with their mind or whatever.
I made them up.
Yeah, I made them up.
They have children? What's your source? I made them up.
I made them up. basically she's trying to get their kids back because they like disappear in the original in the show or whatever. So it's kind of continuation off that. But then you have Doctor Strange going through the multiverse, and you have parts where like you have that one guy that can scream or whatever, and like his head explodes.
Yeah, that's actually one of my problems with this movie.
Yeah,
is the multiverse element of it.
Yeah,
isn't handled that well because they give us a universe. What is it, 838 or something like that?
Like that. It's like they know exactly because that place they go to knows all the multiverses and stuff.
That's the point I'm getting at. So we go to this universe where all the greatest heroes of a universe that's clearly more advanced than ours because they're already aware of the multiverse. Yeah. They're cataloging it. That's how we know we're 616. We learn from them.
Yeah.
And so they're more advanced than us. And Wanda just rocks up to this other universe, kills all their greatest heroes.
Yeah, like they're green, like they're Avengers.
Yeah.
Like literally they're Avengers they killed.
It's beyond the Avengers even, because Captain Carter, whatever, she's the representative for that universe's Avengers.
Yeah.
So each one, there's a Fantastic Four rep, which is, of course, Reed Richards.
Yeah, Reed Richards. This is John Krasinski.
John Krasinski.
That was a big fan one where people were like, I think in the theater people were clapping at that moment.
Yeah, and then he doesn't do anything.
And then he's like dead.
Yeah, he's blue spaghetti.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you've got Reed Richards, you've got Patrick Stewart as Xavier.
Yeah, they even specifically say Xavier.
Yeah,
which he's like a mutant.
They kill him for like the third or fourth time.
Yeah, they just kill him.
He's always dead. And so we get this universe, and then she goes and kills all their greatest heroes. She kills Captain Carter. She kills all of them.
They have, what is it, Mordor? What that guy's name is? Mordor. The guy that's like the Doctor Strange equivalent.
Mordo,
yeah. He's like the Doctor Strange equivalent but he knows who the Doctor Strange is because they're his friend, but he had to kill him.
Well, then, they killed Doctor Strange in that universe.
Yeah, because he was like the source of all evil.
Yeah, pretty much. So they killed him, and then you were expecting this universe that has our address.
Yeah, that knows where we're at.
They know where we live.
Yeah.
And you expect them not to avenge this?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing I don't understand. Now, if they do, I feel like they could open that up in the future, because they have, of course, you have that rumor floating around of Tom Cruise Iron Man.
Yeah, because he did visit Marvel's set during this movie being made.
Right.
And it's kind of weird he would just show up, especially Tom Cruise, and not do anything with the movie.
I feel like, personally, he went to the set, and then they told him what they were going to do. He was just going to be one of those guys that gets killed in that scene. Oh. And he was like, nah, I don't want... I want something more substantial than that.
I want to be the mummy.
Right.
I want to be the mummy.
So...
The god of the world.
I want to be the mummy in Marvel.
Yes.
But anyway, I feel like you could redeem this film if you do a sequel to it where Dark Iron Man or whatever shows up from that universe. Yes. And wants vengeance for killing like Reed Richards and all those guys.
It'd be kind of cool. Like
and
him is like which is like, what's that Secret Invasion? What's that one?
Oh, there's Secret Invasion coming out.
Secret Wars.
There's Secret Wars. There's Secret Invasion.
One of them is like specifically with that specific Iron Man.
Yeah, something like that. Like their universe basically declares war on our universe. Yeah. And it's like Civil War, but on a wider scale.
Yeah.
It's like multiversal warfare.
Yeah, which is almost like, especially when you have two different multiverses, which one multiverse doesn't really care about this other one at all.
Yeah.
Because he's from there and they killed all their people, so we're going to go and take him out.
Yeah, so why? Yeah. Because their universe, Wanda's nobody.
Yeah.
She has no powers at all.
No one.
She's no one. But she does have the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
In that universe, so it's like, whatever. So I thought that was handled poorly. Apart from that, it's fine.
Yeah, it's not like it's it's another one where it's like, it's not like a bad movie, but it's like average. Like, it's a Marvel movie. It's like, I gotta say it's a Marvel movie, and it's like, okay, it's probably gonna be good.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna be great.
Mm.
It's gonna be just enough to where they can be like, oh, it's serviceable.
Yeah.
It's average.
It's fine. It's fine and fun, as some other YouTubers would say.
Fine and fun. That's a good way of saying it. Black Panther.
Okay.
Which, again, that's another Marvel movie.
Yeah, so it's about Black Panther. Yes. So I actually don't have Black Panther on my topic.
Oh, it's not on there? Okay.
So you can talk about Black Panther.
Yeah, Black Panther, like I said, it was one of those things where it's like, it's part of the Marvel mess here. The Marvel mess.
Yeah.
It's like, it's again another movie, but it's a decent movie, but I think, like I said, we did a review on this.
We did do it like an hour-long review of this movie.
Yeah, well, us making fun of it for like an hour at a time.
Yeah. I'm going to say that, objectively speaking, it's probably a better film.
Yeah.
Certainly a better film than Thor: Love and Thunder. Probably a better film than Multiverse of Madness. But again, this is ones that interested us. And I wasn't that interested.
They had to do a lot of big stuff in this movie because they had to deal with Chadwick Boseman's death.
Yeah.
Which I don't agree with how they did it because like a plot point with the movie.
Right.
It's like literally a plot point with the movie because he's like, he has cancer. He even says he has cancer and he's like dies. He like literally died at the beginning of the movie.
Unknown illness.
Yeah, unknown illness. And he's like, you didn't say anything. Because this actually happened in real life where he's like, he didn't say anything until the very last moment.
Right.
And then the very first scene of the movie where it's like Sirius coming out is like, the king didn't say anything until like a month ago. But now it's like stage 8 cancer at this point.
Right.
And it's like what? And she's trying to cure him, but then she becomes like a nihilist after that. Literally, Siri becomes like a nihilist after this.
Yeah, she learns the value. Well, we're not going to talk about TV shows here, but she does learn the theme that Disney taught us this year.
Revenge does wonders for the will to live.
Pretty much. And then, like, what else? Like, they had some good moments. Like, action in this movie was really good.
Yeah.
Because you had, I'm going to say Namor. That was Namor.
It is Namor.
Yeah,
no, it's Namor.
Namor. Which, they changed their design because they went from more of like a Mesoamerican look.
Yeah. Which
works pretty well with the way he's, like, character is. Because he has, like, wings on his feet. So they use, what's his name? What's that god that they have with the winged serpent?
Well, Quetzalcoatl, but that's the Aztec one. The Mayan one...
They name him, but it's like, it's supposed to be the god that...
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, it's the same god as, like, Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah, it's the same type of thing, and it's like, okay, that's a pretty good choice.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks weird, him flying like feet, his feet wings.
Kukulkan.
Yeah, Kukulkan. There you go. Yeah, Kukulkan.
But yeah.
What else happened in that movie that was decent? I mean, like I said, action. They made Siri into Black Panther, which I did not agree with because, like I said, she's not a hero. She's like a nihilist because she's like, I want to see the world burn, and that's why Kukulkan comes as like, I heard you say you wanted to make the world burn. I do too. I do too. Let's both burn the world together.
And this is where they have that romantic bond.
Yeah.
That director of the Eternals, Chloe Zhao, said that she felt that in her soul, and she feels that they should get together.
Yes.
Except for she ignores the part where he then murders Shuri's mother in front of her.
Exactly. And he basically tells, I'm going to kill you next if you say anything. If you say that, I'll kill you next.
Definitely boyfriend material.
Yeah, that's it. But there's another thing where this is another part where they're saying that vibraniums and others are other parts of the world. They're not just because Wakanda's whole thing is like vibranium's the only place in vibranium's at is in Wakanda.
For it's all lies.
Yeah, it's all lies, and it makes sense because it's like it's a meteor. It's literally like meteor metal.
Yeah, it's probably broke up in the atmosphere and landed all over the place.
So like the Kukulkan's place, they live under the ocean, so they have like palaces made of vibranium because they took like the vibranium that was in the ocean.
Yeah.
And then you have like but the U.S. government wants to get it, or like the governments in the world want to make weapons with it or something. I don't know. That was like almost like a back.
Yeah. Elaine from Seinfeld wants to weaponize it.
Yeah, it wants to weaponize it, and you have Bilbo Baggins.
Yes.
Everyone's favorite colonizer, as they say.
Yes, colonizer Bilbo Baggins.
Even though they're like talking to her on the phone and stuff. Well, like the director's sitting right there, and like doesn't make any sense. But it's like it doesn't make any sense either because like the U.S. government's like, let's attack Wakanda.
Yeah.
For no reason whatsoever.
It's a weird movie when you think about it.
Yeah, it's like It's like no reason whatsoever. Literally no reason.
And then Namor's superpower comes from him being fully oxygenated or something.
Yeah, that was his superpower.
we already the oxygen. Before we go on this again, if you want to hear more about this nonsense, check out our video.
Yes. You want to see a superpower being that because he gets double the oxygen.
He has double the oxygen.
That's why he's so powerful.
Amazing.
It's like he gets oxygen from the water and the air, and he dies from like space heaters.
Yeah.
You gotta buy those Lasky space heaters at Walmart. You can kill Namor. You're waking him up to beat him up. This is the type of movie, and there's another part where that's funny, where literally the Aztecs, or I don't know, Mayans, I don't even know what they're called. Like, what were they even called? Like the group's called
Talocons.
Yeah, Talocons. They literally have like 6 Wakandan soldiers on this ship that they made with their dubstep machine.
Yeah.
On top of this little the ship, and then they literally could have killed them all.
Yeah.
But Namor was like, let's stop fighting.
Yeah.
Like, do you see what's happening here?
By the end of the battle, there's like 1,000 Talocon people left and like 6 Wakandans.
Yeah, they killed everyone.
Yeah.
Because they had to use it. They had like this thing where it like suppresses their I don't know, suppress their powers or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember. All I remember is the dubstep machine, because it's like the very bottom of this thing is like a little thing that shoots out like sound waves, and it looks like a dubstep machine, and that like stops them from attacking. But then they use their water balloons to destroy the machine.
Yes. It's a whole thing.
I didn't think I'd say that sentence today. Someone used their water balloons to destroy a dubstep machine.
Yeah, well, it happened.
It happened in the movie.
In Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Yes. I just, after talking about it, just think about all the stupid stuff.
It's pretty stupid, yeah.
It's just flooding into my mind.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. But a lot of people like it.
Yeah.
So,
like I say, it wasn't. It's like Marvel. It's like, again, it's like a Marvel movie.
Yeah, it's another
It's just
Marvel
it's good. It's not like great, but it's good.
No, it's not like it's an asylum film or something. Like, it's not the worst movie of the year.
Yeah.
But okay, so number 8. My number 8 is Smile.
Okay, which is my number 3.
So yours is way higher.
Yeah, way higher.
So since yours is way higher, what made you put it at 3?
Smile I thought was pretty decent because it had like I guess it kind of played with if the person's actually real or not or whatever. But eventually it does. You kind of learn that it's like actually. Well, as I said, we did a review on this too.
Yeah,
we did a review on all these movies, but
yeah.
I liked it because it was pretty decent the way they did like the horror aspects and stuff like that. Whereas it's very tension filled in the movie, if I remember correctly. Because it's like you're kind of learning what this monster is or like what it does and stuff like that. And it's like it just plays very well with horror and stuff like that. But I didn't watch very many horror movies this year, so it's like
yeah, unfortunately I didn't either.
Yeah, so it's kind of like basing it off all other horror movies. If we base off of that. It was pretty decent, I guess.
Yeah, there was a lot of horror that came out this year that I just didn't see. So I have to remedy that in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this year we saw Smile. I think Smile was the only horror movie we saw in the theater.
Yeah, I think it was the only horror movie we saw in theaters.
Yeah.
This year.
So yeah, it was fine.
It's a fine movie, I mean.
Like it's in my top 10. It's just not as high up as yours, but
yeah, it has some good scenes like that one too with the cat in the box or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Kid opens up and birthday present.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew that was coming, but it came in a spot I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
It.
And there's another thing, it kind of shows it does linger on scenes too where it's not afraid to cut away from certain things.
Yeah.
Like it has the first scene was like the one girl's like in a psychiatrist, because the one main character is like a psychiatrist at the hospital. And the whole point of the movie is like if you see the person dying or something like that, it kind of passes on that like death thing. It's like a little demon thing or something. I don't know. I don't even know what the thing is. I know it's
something like
I know at the end of the movie you kind of see what it is, but it kind of shows like her taking that piece of glass and literally cutting her face off.
Yeah, it's pretty intense at points.
Yeah,
it does feel like a lot of modern horror movies
that
have done stuff like this, which are usually pretty good. And this one is too.
Yeah, because it does stuff with. It definitely tells if you've watched that one movie, It Follows or whatever. It has that type of feeling to it.
Yeah.
There's another movie that it kind of felt like.
I actually like this a little bit better than It Follows.
Yeah, because this one's because it shows pictures and stuff, and it shows some guy smiling, looking at the camera smiling.
Yeah.
But you always have to have someone there, because if you just killed yourself at when no one's around, it would just die off.
End, yeah.
Yeah, because they wouldn't be able to see it, which I think that's what her plan was at the end.
Oh yeah, and their stupid boyfriend showed up.
Yeah, that guy, the cop shows up at the very end, and he's
just ruins it all.
Yeah, then he's outside, and then she burns herself on fire. It's oh, now I can see the demon thing.
Yeah.
Because it's this at the end where she kind of shows. The only thing is I've seen that monster design before. That's the thing. I was like, because like I read Junji Ito, and a lot of his stuff's like that body horror and stuff, and it has a very similar look to a lot of that type of horror that he does.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
It's like okay, it's like I've seen that type of monster. It's kind of like one of those elongated. I don't know what that thing is.
Is that the movie where the thing like unhinges the jaw?
Yeah, at the very end where she like rips her, it like basically opens the mouth and goes into the mouth.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks a little weird at points, but
it was kind of cool. Though.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, but it does kind of weird at the same time.
Right.
But then he's like a weird smile at him, which is
probably
like that was another movie because if you read the synopsis of it, it kind of it sounds goofy. But actually watching the movie, it wasn't that bad. It was like, okay, it was actually surprisingly good.
Yeah, it was interesting. It dealt with a lot of psychology, suicide, like suicide topics like that. Yeah.
So I'll go to
you can do
7 here. Was Uncharted. I put Uncharted.
Okay.
Which I didn't realize even came out this year. I thought I watched it last year, but it came out this year.
I forgot this came out this year too.
Which... Did you see Uncharted at all?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not on my list, but I've seen it.
I did because this one follows the game pretty well. Other than like it doesn't have Sully's mustache and stuff. Which
he does get it.
Yeah, he gets to the end. He gets his origin story with his mustache. But
yes.
It's a good like action movie. Like it's just like an adventure movie.
This whole film is a coming of age tale.
Coming of age tale of Sully's mustache. Pretty much it. But yeah, like it follows Nathan Drake as a young Nathan Drake, played by Tom Holland.
As a young Spider-Man.
As a young Spider-Man. He kind of does Spider-Man-esque things in this movie.
Yes.
Which is kind of miscast. I would say that's a miscast part of that movie, because I don't see Tom Holland as Nathan Drake.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Yeah, and then Mark Wahlberg plays as Sully, which this movie was in development hell for a while. Because originally Mark Wahlberg was supposed to be Nathan Drake.
That's how long this was in development?
Like, this was like been years.
Because
I think when Uncharted like 2 or 3 came out, this is when this movie was supposed to come out. So, this is when like Mark Wahlberg was still making like Transformer movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and stuff like that. So that's what they wanted to play with, like, have him in the movie as like Nathan Drake, but since it was like in development hell for so long, it finally came out this year.
Yeah.
But like I said, it wasn't pretty. It reminds me of a lot like Tomb Raider. You know that Tomb Raider movie that came out. It reminds me of that movie like quite a bit. It had like those type of action sequences.
Yeah, it's like a Tomb Raider, sort of like Indiana Jones light kind of thing.
But if you want to find the key of everything, go to a Papa John's in
that's true. You have to go to the Papa John's in Italy.
They had like a keyhole there. That's the way to get into whatever they were looking for. It was like some like map to get to like someone's treasure. It was like some treasure that they were looking for.
Yeah.
And they had these 2 treasure ships. It was like Spanish. Like the main villain is like what's his name?
Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, Antonio Banderas, and it was like his family's like legacy, I guess. It's like his money they was trying to find.
Conquistador gold or something.
Yeah, from like the Mayan. Like Mayan.
Telecom.
Yeah, telecom. The vibranium gold there. It was in Papa John's all along.
Yeah.
But it was like it follows that, so they eventually get to that point and stuff. It has a very, it's pretty decent. It's a good action adventure movie, especially for this year.
Yeah. All right, yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. Okay, so that was what, your number 7?
Yeah, that's my number 7.
My number 7 is The Batman.
That's my number 5.
So yeah, I figured you'd rate this one higher.
Yeah.
So The Batman is, it's good. It's just, I don't know, like it was just kind of slow for me.
Yeah, it's a very slow movie.
And Batman, I'm not sure if I'm sold on Robert Pattinson as Batman.
Yeah, it's like points where it seems like he's good, and then points where he seems like he's just like, it's just watching Twilight. But I think that's the problem with him being in a franchise like that. But
yeah, I wouldn't necessarily compare it to Twilight. It's just the Batman in this just seems off.
Yeah, he's very brooding and stuff, which is how Batman is.
Right, but he doesn't actually do much.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Most of the stuff, like
very much.
Yeah, he doesn't speak very much. He's like supposed to be on the case. One thing I will give this movie credit for is that it is actually like Detective Batman.
Yeah,
which we haven't really seen before.
Which is a good thing, because Batman's the world's greatest detective.
Exactly, but we almost never see him do any detecting.
Yeah.
But the problem I have with that is most of the puzzles and riddles were solved by Alfred.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
So Batman doesn't do much, and then I'll always bring up the part where Batman, who's like a 37-year-old man or something, says like gets in an argument with Alfred, and he literally at some point in the movie is like, "You're not my real dad."
Yeah.
I don't care what happens to me.
That's all I'm afraid of.
Alfred, stop. You're not my father.
You're not my real dad. Yeah.
It's like, are you real right now?
Yeah, I know. Like, is he supposed to be? How old is he supposed to be in this movie?
In his 30s.
Oh, okay.
Because it's Batman year 1, but they pushed up like when he started or something. He's like 32 or something in this.
That's kind of weird, though, because I think in year 1, I think he's like 20s.
Yeah, no, he's older than this.
I mean, yeah.
So it's like he's like, I don't know, maybe he's supposed to be
younger,
like
but he looks
something,
older.
but he's like 37, whatever. Robert
He's definitely like
Pattinson.
a recluse. Like this movie, he's more like a recluse though, because
it's like year 1, but he's almost acting like he's retired.
Yeah, he's like taking Batman, The Dark Knight, where he's like in his house.
Yeah,
like what's this called?
Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, Dark Knight Rises,
yeah.
where he's like in his house, and he's just like a recluse in his house. But they put that into this movie where he's like a recluse all the time.
Yeah, but this is also his origin story.
Yeah, it's an origin story. It's like
because it's not an origin story, but it is because it's like his first time he meets Catwoman and like all this other
yeah,
stuff.
where he's trying to like learn the ropes because he just fights like criminal. Like he just fights just like regular thugs and stuff instead of like big name people. Because you have like Penguin is there, but he's not like he's not super villain Penguin. He's just kind of like mobster Penguin. Which
we're assuming we're gonna get that in the TV show if that's still happening.
Yeah, if that's even still happening.
Who knows?
Yeah, Gimp Suit Riddler.
Gimp Suit Riddler. Yeah.
He's doing like live streams or something.
Yeah, he's like on Twitch with 5 followers.
Yeah, it is like everyone bring your shotguns or whatever, like your weapons.
Weird. And then they give us like the 14th version of the Joker.
Oh yeah, which I thought it was like Elvis. it looked because before I watched this movie, there was a trailer of Elvis.
Yeah.
And his silhouette of his face looked exactly the same as the Joker at the end of Batman.
Elvis is the Joker, confirmed.
Elvis is the Joker. Because, like, Gimp Suit Riddler is over in Arkham.
Yeah.
And he's like, his cell must be, like, right next to the Joker's or something.
Mm.
So that means the Joker must have been around.
That means Batman already arrested the Joker.
Yeah. And you would think the Joker would be, like, someone that would be pretty big.
The Joker's literally, like, the first thing Batman did.
Yeah.
Was beat up the Joker.
Yes.
Great.
But it was a pretty long movie, though.
Yeah, it was long, but I did like the sort of neo-noir type elements to it.
Yeah,
I thought Catwoman was really good.
It was Lenny Kravitz's daughter or something.
Yeah, Zoe Kravitz. I think she was better than Batman.
Yeah, she was pretty good in this.
So, yeah, I think the weak point is Batman. Also, Alfred was good.
Yeah, Alfred was... like, the supporting characters were good.
Yeah, Alfred was good, although I'm still, like, divided on who my favorite Alfred is. It's not him, but he's up there.
Yes.
I do like Alfred in the Zack Snyder stuff, though.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty good. His one-liners and stuff are funny. But, yeah, so this one is fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Like, all these movies are fine.
Like, I have it higher because Batman's my favorite superhero.
Right, yeah.
Batman.
Whereas I tend to gravitate more towards the mythical stuff.
Yeah.
So, I like Wonder Woman and, like, Superman.
Yeah.
Better. But, like Thor is my favorite Marvel hero. Same reason.
Yeah, Batman is definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
Out of all of superheroes in general.
Right. So, yeah, that's why I figured it would be higher on your list. But, yeah, so it's fine. Like, the Batman's alright.
It's a pretty decent. Like, if you get a chance to see it, it is worth seeing. It's just... I don't even know, but with DC and stuff, who knows what they're going to be doing with this.
Well, this one is safe. So, good news for fans of the Batman. The Matt Reeves stuff, so the Batman, and if that Penguin show's still happening, all that stuff, that's actually outside of James Gunn's
Oh, so that's not even part of this thing. Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't have control over that. He can't touch this, and he can't touch the Joker musical, thank God.
The Joker musical. Oh, yes.
The number one most anticipated film of next year, which I don't think any of us had on our list.
I didn't even know that was gonna.
I don't know if it's coming out next year or not. That's the Joker Folie à Deux.
Oh, Jesus.
With Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn.
Great.
And that's going to be fantastic. So thankfully, James Gunn can't ruin the Joker musical from happening.
Yes. He'll say, "Oh, Robert Pattinson is fine," and then the next thing, like, Robert Pattinson
fires him.
So, I am fired.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson will be like, "I got sad news, everyone."
Yeah.
But he wouldn't care. He'd just go back to his apartment.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so then my number 6 was Thor: Love and Thunder, which we already talked about.
Let me see what my number 6. My number 6 was Dragon Ball Superhero. Which
okay, cool. So this one is actually my number 4.
Your number 4. Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about this for Dragon Ball Superhero.
Yeah, Super Duper Hero.
Super Duper.
This movie I liked because the one reason why I like this movie so much, is because they actually remembered something that happened before Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
And that was regular Dragon Ball with Goku.
That was the thing.
Goku.
That was a thing that existed.
That was something that Toriyama remembered it, I guess.
Somebody remembered it. Doubt it was Toriyama.
Yeah, right. Some guy that probably just read it and was like, remember Tao Pai Pai?
He's like, what?
And Mega Man Tao Pai Pai. It's like, what are you talking about? Oh yeah, I remember that.
I remember.
That's even a line in the movie. He's like, some of you might have remembered this happened, and it shows like him fighting the Tenkaichi tournament or whatever.
Yeah.
When it actually wasn't like gets destroyed instantly every time.
Right. And Hoon was like, it's me!
And
It's talking to me!
It's talking to me! Pretty much.
Some of you may be old enough to remember the events that occurred. It's me!
That's me! And another thing I liked about this movie too is I do kind of like the animation style because they went more like a 3D effect. Like they have like 2D cells, but they also put like a 3D effect in certain parts. So it looks really it's like hard to explain. It's like a lot of anime and stuff nowadays do this 3D effect with a lot of stuff. But I think it does really work with Dragon Ball because of the action and stuff like that.
Right.
And also another thing I liked about it, it didn't focus on Goku and Vegeta. It actually focused on other characters like Gohan.
Yeah.
And Piccolo. After like many shows. Actually, it kind of showed a lot of the Z characters, if I remember correctly, the Z fighters.
Yeah,
so the Android. Was it Android 16 or whatever?
18 and Krillin are in it for a bit. Goten and Trunks.
Yeah, because they're trying to fight like Supercell or whatever.
With their first ever, they finally made it past 7 appearance.
Which a lot of people are speculating that's supposed to lead into the new show, I guess, or maybe
the new
possibly.
manga. Well, the new manga did talk about it.
Yeah, where he's like, they're older now.
Yeah. The new manga is actually, the current chapter that came out in December is actually like a prelude to Dragon Ball Superhero.
Oh, is it?
So it's like how they kind of become superheroes themselves or something like that.
Where they become more like, what's his name? Like, what's Gohan's?
Oh, Great Saiyan Man.
Saiyan Man.
Yeah.
Doing that stuff.
They need to bring that back, but with the Great Saiyan Man 2 or whatever, which was Videl. And they
was she?
Yeah, they ignored it. You didn't see Boo Saga.
No, I didn't. I stopped at, like, I have the Blu-rays up to, like,
Cell.
Not even the end of Cell signs.
Yeah, because Funimation puts the final episode of each arc, on the next disc.
Yeah, it's like to the point where he's supposed to, like Goku gave him the Senzu Bean again. The Senzu Bean. Like, here's your Senzu Bean.
Right.
And then it cuts off at that point.
Cool. But anyway, yeah, in the end, Videl is actually, like, his partner in crime.
Kind of interesting.
But because they made Videl, like, stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, pretty much. Even though she's, like, a better fighter than
yeah, they just, like, turned her into a useless character, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah, which I know that's what they do a lot of times with Dragon Ball. I don't know about
Toriyama doesn't understand how to write female characters.
Female characters specifically.
And then he just gets bored with it, and then just relegates them to nothingness.
I mean, look at Lunch, or whatever her name is.
She's
like at a bar drinking.
She's been drinking for the last 30 years.
Because she's the one character from Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Original Dragon Ball. Where her whole thing was that she, like, sneezes.
Like sneezing
and turns into, like, She had like a different personality, which was like I don't know, like bipolar or something. I don't even know.
Yeah, she turns blonde in New Jersey.
Yeah, pretty much. She has like rockets and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is she used to be, I think, like what's his name? Yamcha's like love interest at one point.
It was like Tien, I think, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, Tien's love interest. Yeah, that's right.
Yamcha was with Bulma.
Yeah, Yamcha and Bulma and Dragon Ball, and then Tien and Launch. But she was like, it was like one of those things where Tien's kind of like oblivious to it, and Launch was like, obviously,
yeah,
one of those type of arcs and stuff.
Right.
But Toriyama just doesn't know how to write female characters because she just disappears, doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, he just gets bored with them or something, and then he doesn't know what to do with them as characters.
Yeah.
He's done that with Chi-Chi. He's done that with like everybody.
Chi-Chi's another one. She used to be Cut Man.
Cut Man.
Where's that helmet at?
She had some questionable attire for a child.
Yeah, especially in Dragon Ball, because she's like 10 years old. Like,
yeah.
not even 10, it's like 5 years old.
It's something crazy, and then she actually becomes an adult, and she just wears like traditional Chinese clothes.
She just becomes this like normal Chinese wear.
She's mom who's just like, you gotta become a doctor.
Yeah, I think that's like this very stereotypical type of thing.
Yeah. So yeah, it was good seeing some other characters besides Goku and Vegeta.
And they get more power. They get their power ups and stuff. So
yeah. So allegedly they're on the same level as Goku and Vegeta now. I don't know if I buy that. But...
yeah. Gohan being the same level, he's probably gonna forget in like 2 days.
Probably.
He's gonna go back to studying.
Back to your
power
level.
What power level is Gohan now? He's like,
well, his current thing was like Beast Gohan or
is that what it is? Beast Gohan?
It's something real dumb like that.
But that's like almost like a GT thing.
Yeah, sort of. It reminded me of Super Saiyan 5. There's like, what is that, Dragon Ball AF or whatever the hell it was that came out like around 2000, the fake like leaks they're saying.
Yeah.
If you're on the internet like in the early 2000s, they had all this stuff. It was like coming out of like Latin America or something, because there was like Gohan Blanco or something.
Gohan Blanco.
That's literally like what we got in this movie.
Yeah.
He pretty much looked like Gohan Blanco or like Super Saiyan 5.
Yeah.
Like those fake like manga panels or whatever that were coming out.
They turned them real now.
Yeah, it's like they basically made it real. Like it's so extreme that it looks like a parody of Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And then Piccolo turned into
Super Saiyan Piccolo.
He's like,
what are they called?
He's literally called Orange Piccolo.
Yeah, Orange Piccolo, because he's slightly different. He's like an orange color now.
He looks like the Chad Piccolo.
Yeah, like the Chad.
Giga Chad.
Giga Chad Piccolo. He comes out with a square jaw.
Like, nice.
Which that's one thing I kind of like. What they did in that movie too is like they gave Piccolo a power up, because Piccolo is like really decent. Like he's a good fighter. He's been training all this time, but he never gets stronger.
Yeah, that's true.
He's just gets stuck in a certain spot.
Is nobody can get anywhere unless you're a Saiyan.
Yeah, that's the problem. I think that's one problem.
Yeah,
but I guess what they basically unlocked his potential or whatever, because the Dende or whatever.
Yeah, because they had to go because Guru's not around anymore.
Yeah,
so they can't go to him.
You what? Remember when I said they were the ones responsible for the disappearance of our precious water?
We slaughtered thousands!
It was me.
How?
I drank it.
What?
How do you think I got so fat?
Which I kind of think they took part of that too, because like one part's like, oh, it's you again. It's like the dragon comes out, it's like, oh, it's you again.
I kind of think Toriyama's being influenced by Team 4-Star.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is, because that is actually like a line in the movie. It's like, oh, it's you again.
Super as a whole has had more of a comedic feel to it.
Yeah, they do. It's
than
definitely
like
a lot
V
more.
did.
Yeah, definitely a lot more comedic than more like serious.
Which is, in a way, actually a throwback to original Dragon Ball.
Yeah, original Dragon Ball has a lot of comedic moments.
Because it's way more of a comedy than it is like an adventure action show.
It's almost like, what's that one Chinese story that...
Journey to the West.
Yeah, Journey to the West. It's just that.
Well, that's how it started, and then Toriyama just threw in a bunch of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And he's a gag manga writer to begin with.
Oh,
so he makes like joke mangas and stuff. Like he started with Dr. Slump.
Dr. Slump?
Anyway, he was already like rich because of that, and then he did Dragon Ball. And then occasionally Dr. Slump characters show up.
And that's what's her name,
Arale.
Arale, and it's like the joke episode is Arale showing up, and she's like stronger than anything else.
Yeah, she's like super strong, and she beats Vegeta because he doesn't believe in her like insane joke powers.
Yeah.
But Goku is totally fine with it, so then Goku's like an even match for her.
She's like a friend with her.
Yeah.
Friend with her.
Yeah, well, Arale was in Dragon Ball, wasn't she?
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 episodes, because that's how she knows them from Dragon Ball, the first one.
Yeah. So yeah, I enjoyed Dragon Ball Super Superhero. I didn't like it as much as Broly.
Same here.
I feel like Broly's like the peak of Dragon Ball. Like I think that's the best thing they've done with Dragon Ball.
Broly was really good. This one, I guess, I gotta say it's probably second, because
it's good though.
It's pretty good. Like if we were comparing it to the other movies, like
if I was comparing it even to the other super movies, well, this is the only super movie, but I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The other, like, Battle of the Gods, Resurrection F, Broly in this. I'd say Broly's number 1. Number 2 is this. For me.
This is really good.
And then probably Battle of the Gods and Frieza.
Yeah.
So, like, because those are fine. But this one I did think was pretty good. I was surprised. I didn't think I would like it as much.
Yeah, because I think when we did our podcast and stuff, we talked about it a little bit. It's like, this could go awful. This could be awful. Like, this could not be good.
Right.
But they pulled it off.
It actually has a lot more action than I thought it would. It's like the whole second half of the movie's action.
Yeah, it's like the first half's like infiltration. The second half is action.
Yeah, the first half is all Piccolo focused.
Yeah, Piccolo focused, which is like, I do enjoy episodes that are like, or at least shows that are like that, not just showing Goku and Vegeta all the time.
And that's one thing with Dragon Ball also. A lot of people think it just is nothing but Goku and Vegeta, but there's a lot of like slice of life episodes and stuff, and there's a large fan base for all of the side characters.
Yeah.
So, because I know a lot of people, well, I know a ton of people that are Gohan fans.
Yeah.
So having him come back and actually do something is pretty good for the overall show, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was my number 4. That was your 6?
Yeah, that was my number 6.
Okay, so then number 5, Bullet Train.
I have Bullet Train at 4.
Okay. So we'll talk about Bullet Train now. So Bullet Train, this is actually a movie that I believe was, I don't know if it was directed or just produced by David Leitch, who is one of the 2 John Wick directors from the first film. And so it's got that kind of action style.
Yeah.
So it's got John Wick style action. Another movie on our list was also produced by him. But so we have sort of John Wick style action. We're on a train that's going from Tokyo to Kyoto. And there's apparently nobody but assassins on this train. There is one problem with this. I'm going to get it right out front and say, to address the elephant in the room. This is a book that is a movie based on a Japanese book featuring all Japanese characters on a Shinkansen that goes from Tokyo to Kyoto. The movie is the same train going from Tokyo to Kyoto, but there's no Japanese people on the train. Except for the one character that's part of the plot.
Yeah, he's like the son or something.
Yeah. And it's like, why are there no Japanese people on a train going from Tokyo to Kyoto?
Yeah, I know.
So that's a little weird. But that aside, I felt that the action was good in this. The characters were neat. Like, I enjoyed.
There's a lot of humor in it.
Yeah, it's very funny.
That works.
Mm-hmm.
That's
especially the brothers.
Yeah, the brothers.
Those are my favorite. This is actually the first movie I actually really liked Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
because he's just this British asshole in this, and it worked. Like, I thought it was great.
Yes.
Because he's been in a lot of stuff I've seen before. Like, of course, he played Quicksilver in Avengers Age of Ultron. He was in the first Godzilla legendary film.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of stuff. But this one, he actually had way more personality.
Yeah.
And it kind of actually hyped me up a little bit for Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah.
Because if he acts like this, then I'll be in.
There you go. But yeah, this was pleasantly surprised on this one, because I didn't think it was going to be that great. I didn't really realize it would look like comics.
Yeah.
I thought it came in, I was like, oh, I guess this is a comedy.
Yeah, it's a comedy. Brad Pitt plays an idiot.
Yeah, he plays an idiot, which I think when this movie was actually filming, they do show Ryan Reynolds in it, and I think he was supposed to originally be in this movie as the main character.
I think probably you're right.
But
yeah.
I think there was he was filming on something else at the time.
Yeah.
So he couldn't make it, so he just a cameo appearance.
Shows up in one scene.
And he's basically the asshole, that asshole. You're supposed to be here.
Because he was supposed to be doing this mission, but he called in sick.
Yeah, called in sick is I can't make
Brad Pitt's the substitute assassin.
Yeah. And actually Sandra Bullock's in there too, but that was another one. I think it was supposed to be another character.
It was Lady Gaga.
Yeah, but she couldn't do it either.
But she couldn't do it, so they ended up with Sandra Bullock somehow.
And then she's on the phone, and that's the reason why. She's at her house.
Yeah.
Filming it
so she actually filmed a day.
Yeah, just on her phone, just talking on the cell phone with him. And that's literally the whole part of her, her stuff. Except at the very end of the movie.
All right, she says at the very end. But yeah, this movie overall was pretty great.
Yeah.
I think it suffers from a bloated budget, and I think it comes mostly from that stupid action sequence at the end when they trash half of Kyoto.
Oh, yeah, probably.
For no reason at all. Because that had to have been where half the budget went. Plus some of these actors, like Brad Pitt, probably cost a lot. Sandra Bullock probably cost a lot.
Yeah, they probably are. Yeah, probably did.
Yeah, Michael Shannon randomly. Zod is... a Russian.
I understand what he's saying.
Russian Yakuza guy or something.
Yeah, he's called the White Wolf or something.
Yeah. Hiroki Sanada has a fantastic scene.
Yeah, Hiroki Sanada does a pretty decent job in this.
This is what my second favorite scene of the year was Hiroki Sanada cutting through dudes with that I need a hero in Japanese.
He's let me tell you a story. No, that's all right.
Yeah, he tells him the story.
I'll tell you it anyway.
He's okay.
It's he talks about the butterfly or the ladybugs or whatever.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, it is really funny.
Yeah, it's a funny movie.
I just wish there was a little bit more Japanese representation. In a movie that's set in Japan.
Because by the very end, there's no one on the train except 5 characters.
Yeah.
Because everyone else all the tickets get bought out by I think the White Wolf or something.
Yeah, because Zod bought all the tickets.
Yeah.
So only Hiroki Sanada remains because he's the only Japanese actor who can speak English.
Yeah. He's pretty good English too.
He lived in England for a while.
Yeah, that's why I didn't realize that because I know I remember watching him Last Samurai and stuff.
Yeah,
he doesn't speak English. He's just
because Last Samurai he doesn't speak English and he's this gruff samurai. But then when you look at the interviews, he has perfect English with no accent.
But let's say, did this movie even make his money back in this?
I'm not sure if it did. I think it did make over $100 million or something, but it cost $80 million to make.
Oh, so it probably didn't make its budget back.
So I feel like it just bloated the budget in dumb places. But the best part of the movie for me was actually, besides Hiroki Sanada, was actually, like I said, the brothers.
Yeah.
Aaron Taylor Johnson and Brian Tyree Henry.
Yeah.
Who, ironically, are both in the Monsterverse.
Yeah.
Because Brian Tyree Henry was in Godzilla versus Kong or whatever. Yeah. So he's supposed to be in the next one as well.
Yeah.
Those two I thought were great. Between Aaron Taylor Johnson just being this guy who's just fed up with everything, and then the other guy with his Thomas the Tank Engine obsession.
Yeah, you're a diesel.
You're a diesel. Brad Pitt's just you're a diesel.
Yeah.
It's a stupid movie, but I like it.
It's pretty good. It's one of those movies I'm pleasantly surprised about this year.
Yes. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Okay, so
what we got 3?
That was my 5.
Yeah, your 5. Okay. Mine 4 was Bullet Train, so we already just talked.
Okay. So we had
4.
My 4 was Dragon Ball Super.
Okay, so we got that.
We already talked about.
So we get to 3, which was mine was Smile.
Okay, so we talked about that already. My number 3. Top Gun Maverick.
Oh. That's 20 minutes on a plane.
You saw 20 minutes on a plane, so please explain to me Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, there's Tom Cruise, and he's on the beach with his shirt off.
With his shirt off playing football.
That's all I got to.
Yeah. Well, it's a continuation of the movie 1986 film where he plays volleyball on a beach with no shirt.
Yes, exactly.
They got him to take his shirt off, so the writers of The Witcher would be ecstatic.
Yeah, they would be ecstatic.
But anyway, so this is obviously Top Gun Maverick is a sequel to Top Gun, which is a surprise to no one.
Yeah.
It's a 35-year film in the making. This movie felt like it was going on for 35 years because they delayed it so many times because of the pandemic. This was supposed to come out in 2019.
I think this is where Paramount wanted to have this on their streaming service, but Tom Cruise was like, no.
Yeah, Tom Cruise said absolutely not. This is a movie. Yeah. Go talk to Harry Styles to get a definition.
It feels like a real, like, go to the theater film movie that, you kind of, the reason why you go.
Exactly.
So anyway, no, he refused to put it on Paramount Plus.
Yes.
And it's a damn good thing he did, because this ended up making $1.5 billion.
Yeah, Paramount better be like giving Tom Cruise like an actual fighter jet at this point.
Yes, $1.5 billion or close to it.
It's like the highest grossing movie in the world.
Well, technically, this is number one.
Is it number
this
one?
year?
Oh, okay.
Although Avatar 2 will probably topple it, but in the time frame of 2022, this was the highest grossing movie.
Yeah, this movie came out. When did this movie come out?
Like May or something?
It came out in May and didn't come out of theaters till like December.
Yeah, I know. It just now gets out of theaters. Yeah. So yeah, this is an incredible film. Like it is. As far as the plot goes, it's very simple. It's literally the Death Star trench run from the first Star Wars movie, if that was the entire movie.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally what this is. Almost exactly what this is. Except for it's done with F-18s instead of
That's another thing.
X-Wings.
Like, actually watching that first 20 minutes, because it shows them flying around a little bit. Mm-hmm. You can really tell when it's practical, when it's real.
Yeah,
like, it doesn't look fake because all this was real. Yeah, all this was real. Like, there's a scene where he comes off the runway or whatever in that like experimental plane.
Yeah.
And the whole roof of that like place comes up.
Yeah.
That actually happened in the movie. That wasn't something they planned. That actually just happened.
Yeah. This movie's wild. Yeah. So how they filmed all the sequences in this is they made, I guess they did like a special rig in like F-18s.
Yeah.
Because you're not allowed to fly an F-18 unless you're like a certified military pilot. So what they ended up doing was they had the pilot like in the front seat or in the back seat, I think. The pilot was in the back seat flying the plane.
Yeah.
And then the actor was in the front seat just like pretending to fly the plane. But they literally had actors in F-18s in the air filming everything.
They did it multiple times, and I guess they were saying this movie was, for the actors, they were pretty, some of them were like throwing up like all the time.
Yeah, because they'd have to hit so many G's or whatever.
They're not used to that.
Yeah,
like, that's like trained fighter pilots are. But...
And then they'd come back down, and then Tom Cruise would be like, yeah, you gotta go back up there and do it again.
You looked the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Go back up there and do it again.
Do it again. So, yeah, this movie's fantastic.
Yeah, it's...
And somebody who thinks the 1980s, personally myself, I've seen Top Gun. I think it's very much a mid film. Like, I don't think it's that great.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's more almost like a soap opera drama.
Yeah, I think it's kind of shows the goose and stuff, and he's like, the goose and everything else.
Yeah, it's like, it's all right. Like, it's not that good. This movie takes everything that made the first one good, dials that up to 11, and then adds a bunch of new stuff that's even better.
Yeah.
And the sequence at the end's amazing. It's, like I said, it's like the Death Star run, but with real planes. And it's just really well put together. I think it's structured well, the pacing is good, the acting is good.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I'm surprised. Like this, I guess is another movie I'm assuming a lot of people got surprised about, because it's like... Top Gun? Really?
Yeah, like I said, Top Gun, like, I am a huge Tom Cruise fan. And, like, Top Gun's just meh to me. Like, it's fine.
Okay, whatever.
It's alright. Like, I actually like it better than I thought I would.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see it till recently.
Yeah.
And I always kind of ignored it because it just didn't seem that interesting to me. And then I was like, I saw it and I was like, you know what, this isn't that bad.
Yeah, especially when that was one of Tom Cruise's, like, one of his first movies, I think.
It's early in his career.
It's like way early in his career.
Yeah, it came out in 86. He started in, like, 1980.
Yeah, it was like, okay, this actually, like, being an actor, especially Tom Cruise is a decent, like, he's a pretty good actor anyway, so he kind of made that movie, I guess you can say.
Right. Like, I'm not saying that movie's terrible, but it's just there.
Yeah.
Like, it's not fantastic. But this movie is on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So, yeah. One of my initial reaction to this, I think I recorded one when I saw it. I saw it in Japan when it came out. And then I recorded my first reaction to it. and I gave it like a 9.5 out of 10 or something. Like I really enjoyed it. I've seen it a couple times since.
And people have been watching quite a bit because I think that shattered Paramount Plus like stream because they put it on streaming finally because it's been
because I mean like this month or something they put it on streaming.
Yeah, it shattered all expectations, I guess, which is like it's that's another one. It's like that's just surprising. It's like Top Gun, really, Top Gun, but I guess there's a reason why it made a couple $1 billion.
So. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is I'm gonna do a Ryan Johnson here.
You're gonna subvert our expectations. So let me clarify this. This is a list of films from 2022. What is your second favorite film of 2022?
It's One Cut of the Dead.
A film from 2017.
I saw it this year, so that's how you define it. It was a movie that came out this year.
What did you see, yesterday or something?
Yeah, I saw it yesterday.
Some last day.
Yeah, I saw it yesterday, and it's like, okay, this is good. This is really good.
Okay.
So, I did a Ryan Johnson.
Burning our
expectations.
Okay.
This one was really good. Like, the reason why I even have it on this list because it was really good. It's like worth talking about because it's a really good movie. Like,
yeah.
The only bad thing is you literally cannot say anything because if you say anything, if you spoil anything of this movie, then you will like ruin what the whole point of this movie is.
The director comes to your house.
Yeah.
He kills you.
Yeah. Because like the synopsis is like this Japanese film, like they're making a Japanese movie in the middle of somewhere, like Kyoto or something, where a real zombie apocalypse starts happening.
Okay.
And that's the premise of the movie. That's like literally all I can say.
That does sound interesting. I've heard of this film. Like I've seen the poster for it. I haven't seen it, but yeah, it does sound good.
But it's hard to like you can't say anything because there's certain things that happen in the movie and you're like, why is it like this? But then it explains reason why later on.
Okay.
So you can't like say anything because if you do, then it just ruins. I would say it's one of those things where it ruins the movie if you know what's going on. You like can't like look at anything because it like will ruin it if you don't know. Like if you look at anything,
yeah,
it will ruin what the movie's about.
Okay.
So
yeah, you don't have to go into detail on it.
Yeah. So, but like I said, that's why I put number 2 because it is really good.
Yeah.
But I can't say like anything else. I can't say anything else.
This is the review. It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so go check that out.
It's like it's on Shudder. If you want to get it on Amazon, it was $3.99.
Okay.
On Amazon Prime.
Nice.
So, I think it's on Shudder I think it's actually free on Shudder. But
well, if it's on Shudder, it would be free.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, other than
the
subscribing.
Yeah, subscription,
which is like $5 a month or something. Okay, so my number 2 is Prey. So Prey wasn't in theaters, but it's still a movie, so it counts.
Yes.
You know, my favorite thing about the movie is like it feels like a movie.
It should have been in theaters.
Yeah, from the looks of it, I know that got a pretty good reception.
I don't understand why the hell this wasn't in theaters. So if you don't know, Prey is actually part of the Predator franchise, which is probably one of the reasons why it didn't get viewed as much, I would guess. I don't know how many people watched this movie, but I feel like that probably hurt it.
Yeah, I think it's probably because of that, and probably because it was on Hulu, right?
It was on Hulu.
And that's probably another reason why, because not a lot of people have Hulu.
Yeah. So, like, I'm not sure if this movie was successful or not, but I'm just guessing that if it was called something Predator, it probably would have got more involvement. Which I think it was originally called, like, I want to say it was called, like, Bones or something random originally. So this is, of course, the latest film in the Predator franchise.
Yeah.
This is a prequel to everything, because this is set in, like, 1700 in America. It follows a Comanche tribe. And so the main character is a Comanche woman who's trying to, like, prove herself in the tribe. Mm-hmm. She has her brother who's, like, the excellent hunter and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And so it starts out basically just like a historical film following Comanche, and then later a bunch of French fur trappers show up and cause some trouble.
Yeah.
And then, but while this is all happening, it's also interspersed. It's almost like this historical Native American drama, and then it interspersed with a predator coming to Earth and hunting various animals. So he's like working his way up the food chain.
Oh.
He like kills a wolf. He kills a snake first, and then he kills a wolf.
He kills a snake.
And then he kills a bear. And then that part's really cool because the bear is about to attack our main character, and all of a sudden the bear like screams out, and you realize the predator just stabbed it through the back of the neck, like while it's invisible, and like lifts the bear like over his head. It's like,
that's pretty cool.
The predator looks really cool in this because it's like a different species or like a proto predator or something.
Oh, so this is like before they become like full. Because if it's during this time period,
it's like 1600, so like it's a few hundred years ago. And what we know about the predator, I guess, depending on which continuity, the predator like genetically modifies itself, so evolution would come a lot faster for that species.
So they kind of like augment themselves.
Yeah, so this is sort of a proto predator.
That is pretty cool.
He fights with more like melee weapons and stuff. He has a shield and stuff like that.
Also fighting with like guns.
Yeah, well, he still has a plasma caster, but it's different than the later ones. So it's like earlier tech. It was like, they said one of the difficult things they had to do was figure out a way to give the Predator futuristic tech that was older than what we'd seen previously.
Yeah, that would be pretty difficult to do.
It's almost like retro-futuristic.
Yeah. Retrofuturism.
So, because you had to figure out a way to make it look like it's more advanced than what we have today, but not as advanced as what previous Predators had.
That would be pretty difficult to do.
So, it was cool. It was really well done. There's two versions of this film. So I'm somebody who's a big supporter of indigenous people, especially like Native Americans and stuff like that. They need a lot more representation. And this definitely hit that, but did it in a meaningful way. And there's actually two versions of this film on Hulu. And I think I've seen people complain about this. Because there's people who watch this film and they're like, it'd be a lot better if it was in Comanche. There's a Comanche dub. It's just that the problem is it's not a language option.
It's weird.
A separate video on Hulu.
I know Netflix does the same thing with the anime because they have like the original version and they have the Japanese version later at some other spot, and it's like not even right next to each other.
Well, the reason why I think is they actually filmed this movie twice.
Oh, yeah.
And parts of this film are filmed in Comanche, and parts of it are in English. I think 90% of the movie was filmed in English, so English is probably the original version.
Yeah.
And then it was dubbed in Comanche, because my understanding there's only like 100 speakers of Comanche left.
Yeah.
So the actors don't speak Comanche, except for a few people. Probably people that played like the Elders or something.
Yeah.
Probably could actually speak it, but they're maybe not professional actors.
Yeah.
So they only used them for a few scenes. So because they filmed the movie twice, just a few segments, it's two separate movies technically.
Yeah, that's probably
but
scenes.
It's English is probably the real version because you could tell that the Comanche is actually a dub.
Oh,
because the mouths aren't moving to the words and stuff. But there is a Comanche version of this film, which I think's really great that they did that.
Yeah, that's especially if you're making a movie that's supposed to be set in a specific time period and a specific peoples. You shouldn't put it in English.
Right. Yeah, there isn't any English in this movie at all if you watch that version. Because they're speaking Comanche and the fur trappers are French, so they're speaking French.
So it's actually so they're actually speaking French.
Yeah, and we actually get the origin story of the pistol in Predator 2.
Oh.
That pistol that they give to Danny Glover at the end, and it says whatever that guy's name, Raphael something or other, and it's like 1715 or something on the barrel. We meet that character in this movie.
Great.
Which he's kind of useless, but Adelini or whatever his name is. But yeah, this was really good.
I wonder why they never put this in theaters. Like, it's really strange.
Well, it's stupid. And then they did the same thing with, I didn't watch it, but they did that with the Hellraiser movie.
Yeah, because that Hellraiser movie, like, I didn't see it either, but I heard some people at work, at my workplace, they've seen it, and they're saying they recommended it because it was pretty decent.
I've heard some people like it, some people hate it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people say, the ones that hate it even say it's one of the better Hellraiser movies, but that's not saying much. Hellraiser, after like the second one, there's a steep drop off.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so they did that, and they have an Alien movie coming out next year or the year after. It's like Alien Romulus or something. And no relation to Star Trek.
The aliens really getting around.
Xenomorphs are on a Romulan warbird.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know what that's going to be like, but it's probably going to be a Hulu exclusive also, so I don't know why they're doing this.
That's strange.
Well, Disney also posted their worst year since 1974, so...
Oh, did they?
Maybe they'll change this.
Yeah, because it's like, those are movies that are from franchises that obviously people like.
People know what the Predator is.
Yeah, people know the Predator, people know the aliens.
The last Predator movie did bad, but it wasn't because it had the Predator, it was because it was a train wreck of a film.
Horrible movie. I mean, this is the movie, I think we talked about this story before, but this is a movie where someone actually walked out. The only other person that was there walked out.
Yeah, the only other person in the theater walked out. Yeah, this movie sucked, or not this one, but that movie, The Predator.
It was horrible.
Sucked. This movie is great. I would actually go so far as say this is probably the second best Predator movie, in my opinion.
Was that behind the original Predator?
Well, yeah, the original Predator is the best, of course. And then I'd say this.
Yeah.
And then probably Predators. And then Predator 2.
Yeah.
And then way at the bottom is The Predator. I think The Predator is so bad, in my opinion, I'd put it below AVP.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad.
Because that movie was horrible.
It's not like, The Predator isn't even a coherent film.
No.
Like, at least AVP is confidently shot.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's a different tangent for another day.
Yes.
But, in my opinion, The Prey is fantastic. Not The Prey. Prey is fantastic. I would check it out if you have Hulu. If not, they might have a free trial or something.
Disney just doesn't like money. I mean, they should just sell the movie on Blu-ray or something.
Well, like I said, they just posted their worst year since 1974. So
yeah.
Maybe they'll change some things.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that was my number 2. And your number 2 was that One Cut of
the Dead, yeah.
Cut of the Dead. Okay, so before we do our number 1 film, which actually is the same movie for us.
Yeah, because
spoilers.
Definitely the better movie of the year. That's definitely the best movie of the year.
So I would like to give some honorable mentions and some dishonorable mentions.
Yeah, there you go.
So I will start with honorable mentions. So I didn't put these on my list because I don't know if they really qualify as movies per se.
Yeah.
Again, consult Harry Styles on a definition of movie.
It's like it feels like a movie. It feels like a real go to the theater film movie.
I put Werewolf by Night and Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
Yeah.
In my honorable mentions. These two were actually my favorite Marvel things that were released this year. And I didn't put them on the list because they're both under an hour long.
Yeah, they're almost like a TV movie or something.
Yeah, it was like a TV special.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you would actually, maybe even qualify them as TV as opposed to movies.
Yeah.
But they were both on Disney+. Both of them are great. I enjoyed both of them a lot. Guardians... You didn't see
I keep forgetting to watch them because it's like I remember it because that's why I watched this One Cut of the Dead because I was doing this list.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh yeah, I want to watch this movie. And then I watched it. And then when I was like, oh, maybe I should watch this other stuff.
I do a movie YouTube channel. I should watch movies.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, Werewolf by Night I thought was great. It was a really fun homage to like Universal monster movies.
Yeah, I know the trailer and that looked really
with a little bit of a grindhouse feel to it, at least in the trailer. Had some cool moments. I like the characters in it.
Mm-hmm.
The monster hunter lady was really cool. And I think that movie also has Man-Thing in it or something.
Oh, is he in there?
Yeah, he's in there. It was pretty cool. It was really well put together. And it was very tight because it was like an hour.
Yeah.
So it didn't have a lot of crap in it.
I think that's like a lot of those. Isn't a lot of those movies back in those old days, like the Universal one? Are they like an hour long?
That's true. They're
like that long.
They're all pretty short. They're like an hour and 5 minutes or something.
Yeah.
And it's done almost entirely in black and white. But then at the end, they make it color, but they literally do the Wizard of Oz thing, where it switches from black and white to color.
I do not understand.
I do. I understood that reference.
Oh, they rip that right out of Wizard of Oz because they even do the Somewhere Over the Rainbow song or something. They switch the that was a bit cheesy, but overall I enjoyed it a lot. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, I thought was also really good. That one's really funny. The premise is basically it's a Mantis Drax special. And the whole premise is they want to get Peter Quill, Star-Lord, something for Christmas because he's told them all about how wonderful Christmas is because he remembers Christmas from when he was like 8 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he tells them all about Christmas, but nobody celebrates Christmas in space.
Yeah.
So their knowledge of Christmas literally all comes from him. So they decide to get him the best present in the world. What is the best thing you could get Peter Quill? They decide this Mantis and Drax come up with the greatest plan: kidnap Kevin Bacon.
That's pretty good, actually.
So they go to Earth, they break into Kevin Bacon's house, and they're just searing up, chasing him through the neighborhood. They eventually, like, capture him, and then Mantis uses her powers to, like, brainwash him into thinking that he's here to give Peter Quill this great gift for Christmas or whatever. It's really funny. And of course, he realizes, when he finds out, he flips out. He realizes that Mantis brainwashed him. So she makes her, like, break the spell, and he immediately freaks out because Kevin Bacon's, like, on another planet with a bunch of aliens around him. It's really funny. And they have this part where they all give each other Christmas presents at the end, and Rocket Raccoon opens up his gift from Nebula, and it's Winter Soldier's arm.
Great.
He has, like, a tear comes to his eye. And this, by the way, this caused a big controversy because everybody's like, how did Nebula get Winter Soldier's arm? And I was like, well, you find out in Falcon and Winter Soldier and whatever, Captain Falcon, whatever the heck that show was, then all you have to do is, like, push a button and his arm falls off. So it wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
So
that's good. That's a good premise.
Yeah, I thought it was really funny.
That's like classic James. That's from James Gunn, right?
Yeah, it's James.
That's like classic James Gunn and Marvel.
Yeah, as much as I hate James Gunn for what he's doing to DC, I mean, I guess we should give him a fair chance, but
yeah,
I don't like what he's doing. I don't really understand what he's doing, full disclosure, though. But I do still enjoy his Guardians of the Galaxy stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll definitely... Volume 3 is certainly going to be on our list of
which we'll
anticipated
do after we
films.
finish our list here.
Yes. So let's talk about some dishonorable mentions. So these also probably films you didn't watch.
I didn't watch
because you hate movies.
I didn't watch the one because I didn't really like the second one at all.
Yeah.
That was Dominion.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Dishonorable mentions: Jurassic World Dominion. So the first movie I ever saw in movie theaters was Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And I think the original Jurassic Park is one of the greatest movies ever made.
Yeah, that's a good speech.
And I'll stand by that forever. Even though the book is better, the movie is quite good.
And the second one wasn't that bad.
It wasn't too bad. I really enjoyed Jurassic World as well.
Yeah, Jurassic World wasn't...
The first.
Because that felt more like Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
I think. Like, obviously they were kind of like trying to emulate Jurassic Park a little bit.
Yeah, it was that era of like 2010 soft reboots.
Yeah.
Where it's like The Force Awakens is like this too.
Yeah.
And just like The Force Awakens, as the sequels go, the worse it gets.
That second one was not good.
And the third one was not good.
Which that was another thing, like, there's someone I work with, they were saying about their parents liked the second one a lot, but didn't like the third one. Like, they hated it. And I kind of wonder if that's kind of... I don't know if that's just kind of like the way that movie was. I don't really know.
I don't honestly... I can't tell you which one I hate more. It's very much like Star Wars.
Yeah.
I've watched recently, like in the last couple months, I watched Last Jedi, and then I watched Rise of Skywalker right after.
Yeah.
Because my parents hadn't seen them yet. So we just sat down and watched those two. I can't tell you which one I hate more. Like, they're equally garbage.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I like Rise of Skywalker a little bit better because it's funny.
Yeah.
But in this one, I wouldn't be able to tell you which one I hate more. It's the same situation. But I will tell you, this movie gets the whole gang together. It's the big finale. So we get the new guys like Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, who I love and everything, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And she needs to direct a Star Wars movie. And we get the old guys. We get Alan Grant back, Sam Neill's back, Jeff Goldblum's back, Laura Dern's back. So they got them all. They got the whole gang together. So what is the big thing that unites all of us together, both generations? Locusts. Locusts.
Great.
The entire plot is bioengineered locusts, and now they got loose out of a lab and they're eating all the grain in Mexico or something. And it's going to cause a worldwide hunger pandemic.
Because all locusts are eating everything.
Yeah. So this is a show about dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Now, eventually, you do plan to have dinosaurs on your dinosaur tour, right? Hello? Oh, hello? Yes?
I really hate that man.
Yeah. That's like what I felt like with this movie. You'll have dinosaurs in your dinosaur movie, right?
Yeah. That's weird. And locusts?
Yeah. The main antagonist is Locust. There's a whole thing with a Giganotosaurus that goes almost nowhere. Colin Trevorrow famously said in an interview that his Giganotosaurus is like the Joker.
What?
And I didn't know at the time. I didn't know what he meant. Now I know even less.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about.
There is a part where they rip off Dino Crisis that I enjoyed quite a bit, though.
Oh, did that?
Where it like bursts through like the window and his head's like almost where Chris Pratt's at. Yeah. And it looks like the scene from Dino Crisis when the T-Rex comes through the office window or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But other than that, nothing happens. The Therizinosaurus kills the Giganotosaurus, and it's like they did a good job with Therizinosaurus, but for some reason they made it blind. It's like a blind Freddy Krueger dinosaur because it's got the little long claws, but it's blind for some reason. It is just weird. There's a cool scene with Dimetrodons in there. They bring the Dilophosaurus back for the first time since the first movie.
Yeah.
It corners Clara, it's about to kill her, and then Chris Pratt runs up and punches it in the face.
He doesn't do that weird thing. He's like...
No, he doesn't use the force. He just clocks it in the jaw. It's a mess.
This sounds horrible. Locusts?
There is an extended version of this film that I've allegedly heard is better, but I've not seen it.
Like, I don't know what these, like, I guess maybe that's the Warner Brothers started that. It's like they didn't have extended versions of everything.
Now it's spread to Universal.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we ruined the movie, so here's the extended version that actually makes it better.
It explains things.
We didn't put it in theaters.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that whole thing's a mess. The one thing I will say, the redeeming factor, of course, Jeff Goldblum is always great. Sam Neill is always fantastic.
Yeah.
Laura Dern's cool in this. Like I said, I'm a big Bryce Dallas Howard fan. I like Chris Pratt, even though he gets a lot of shit these days.
Yeah.
So I like all the actors that are in this film. The dinosaurs are good. The effects are good. There's some crazy sequences. There's a really wild chase scene in like Malta that looks like it's out of Mission Impossible, but it has velociraptors chasing.
There you go.
Or Atrociraptors or whatever chasing Chris Pratt's motorcycle through the streets. And it looks like a Mission Impossible scene, but with dinosaurs. It had some wild stuff. It does have some good moments, but making the main antagonist be locusts.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
And there's especially a scene at the end where they get into the room with the locusts, and the locusts are flying around the room, and that's it. That's what they're doing. They're flying around the room. Like, it was like, this is so stupid. Like, this isn't even a threat. Like, I mean, it's a threat. It's a threat to the world because they're going to eat all the crops, but it's a real boring plot.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
So, yeah, I'm going to put that on my dishonorable mentions.
Yes, there you go.
My next dishonorable mention, Halloween Ends.
Which I've heard some people like that movie.
Why? Who are these people?
I know one person.
But, no, I mean, it's fine. If you like this movie, fine.
Yeah.
It's an opinion. I don't know if I hate this movie more or if I hate Halloween Kills more. But this movie decided Halloween Kills ends with a crazy scene in an alleyway where like 50 mobs, like a mob of 50 people just get brutally killed by Michael Myers. Because they basically, I guess, reveal he's supernatural after all. and he just kills everybody, and then he kills Laurie Strode's daughter.
It's because of mob mentality.
Yeah, because evil dies tonight.
Yes, evil dies tonight.
And then, so everybody dies, including Laurie's daughter, who is like the main character in the first one. And then, so you think this is going to follow that up, right? Like, this has to be right away.
Yeah.
Right? It's like that Natalie Portman, Hayden Christensen.
Yeah.
4 years later, this movie starts 4 years later after that. Apparently, Michael's been living in a sewer for 4 years. Kidding.
He became Splinter.
Yeah, he does. He became a mentor in the sewer. And we're going to get to that in a second. Because the new character, which I can't even remember his name because I've seen this movie since it came out.
Yeah.
He's boring as hell. I can't remember what the hell his name is. But anyway, there's like a cold open that takes place like a year before this. Yeah. Where he accidentally kills a kid that he's babysitting.
Oh, is it kid like falls down the stairs?
Yeah, he like falls. She falls off the balcony, or he falls off the balcony, or something. Because the kid locks him in like the attic or something, and the guy's like, "Open the door! Open this damn door now!" or whatever. And he kicks the door in, and the kid goes flying off the balcony and dies. And then he gets accused of murder, and it's like, okay, well, he did kill the kid, but it was an accident.
Like accidentally killed him.
And then because of that, he ends up in prison or like a psych ward or something for years. He comes out, and then he ends up he's like real weird and awkward, but he ends up starting this relationship with Laurie Strode's granddaughter or whatever. And it's just half the movie is this weird relationship.
A relationship movie.
Yeah, it's like a romance film.
With Michael Myers.
Except for he decides at some point he wants to just become a serial killer.
What do you want
everybody in town keeps making fun of him because he killed that kid.
Like,
so, how does he become a serial killer?
Yeah, it's like...
He goes to the sewer, seeks out Master Myers, Myers Sensei, teaches him how to kill people.
It's like, does Michael Myers talk in this movie?
No.
But he just just say, this is how you kill someone. Take a knife and stab him.
Yeah, basically. No, literally, that's what happens. He captures a guy, brings him into the sewer, and then he gives Michael a knife, and Michael just like looks at the knife. And then he just like plunges it into this guy and repeatedly stabs him. And Michael's just like basically just demonstrating that you stab a guy with a pointy end of the knife. What? He looks at the knife and he's like, this is the back of the handle. This is the blade. You stick the blade in the guy. Stupid.
Make sure you don't point the other way.
Yeah, make sure you don't stab yourself. But it is so
he doesn't talk. That's
stupid.
Strange.
It's so stupid. And then they have this thing with the mask, where the mask is like maybe supernatural, maybe it's not.
The mask is supernatural.
I think that's what it is. I thought that the mask was imbued with the power or something, because they do that in Kills, where he takes the mask off right before somebody steals his mask, and then he goes after them. He stops everything he's doing and he frantically goes after the guy with the mask. Like the mask has some power. He manages to get the mask on right before he gets shot and stabbed like 50 times by the mob, and then he manages to live. This movie, the guy goes around, the guy who's being tutored wears the mask, so people think he's Michael Myers. He's going around killing people. He breaks into Laurie Strode's house and attacks her or something. Laurie shoots him in the chest, and he falls off the staircase. But he's wearing the mask. And he's still alive. And he's talking like he's fine. And he takes the mask off. And then he kills himself right as Laurie's granddaughter comes in the room. But he's not wearing the mask now. And he like slits his own throat or something without the mask. And because he's not wearing the mask, he dies. So it's like they're very much implying that the mask is like where the power is coming from.
The mask. William Shatner.
And the final fight between Laurie and Michael, same thing happens. Laurie and Michael are fighting. He ends up getting pinned down on the kitchen table by a fridge or something. He's stabbed like 50 times. Like Laurie stabs the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And he's still alive. Like nothing's phasing him until Laurie rips the mask off his face and then slits his throat and his wrist, and then he dies.
That's weird.
So it's almost like they're implying the mask is what's the thing, which is actually kind of cool. And in a weird way, you could have put Halloween 3 into the continuities, because Halloween 3 was about the mask like manufacturer or whatever.
Oh yeah,
and it's like
the kids.
Yeah, like this.
The one everyone hated.
Yeah, Silver Shamrock, which actually isn't a bad movie.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
It's not.
It's just kids dying, like literally just kids dying.
Decent. It's just kids dying. So anyway, that's my piece about Halloween Ends. I don't think I did a review on it previously, so that's why I ranted about it for way longer than I should have. Yeah. So those are my dishonorable mentions. So let's get to the number one movie of 2022. Unquestionably,
yes.
Morbius the Marvel Legend.
Yes.
Have size, excel, put my hands against, put my best of best, put my 10 a 10, or put my spend a spend. Have size, excel, of the meti fully cash show, fulla fala, betting and it tandi best show, fulla fala, tandi dashi tandi hash show, fulla fala, I funi kati funi cash show. Excel, put my hands against.
It's Morbin time.
It's Morbin time. No, seriously though. Our number one film is Violent Night.
Yes, Violent Night. We both had that one at number one.
Yes. David Harbour as Santa Claus versus a bunch of terrorists.
Yes.
Die Hard. With Santa.
Yes.
And it's great.
It's like one of those movies. It's another one where it's like, I think it's all the good movies were like it's pleasantly surprised. Like you're going in there and be like, oh, it's not going to be that great. And then as you go in there, it's like, oh, it's actually really good.
This is a movie that actually was on my radar the second it was announced.
Yeah.
Because we talked about it on the podcast like way back in the spring or something.
Yeah.
And I figured it would be good. Not only is David Harbour fantastic as Santa Claus, the director, Tommy Wirkola, had previously done Dead Snow and like Hansel and Gretel and stuff.
Yeah.
So like I knew what I was getting into. It was going to be some crazy action. What I didn't realize until I think when we watched it was that David Leitch produced it.
Yeah.
Who's the guy we talked about with Bullet Train, who was one of the co-directors of the first John Wick.
Yeah.
And it shows
because the way the fight sequences are. It's like, yeah, that definitely looks like it.
Yeah, just like Bullet Train.
Yeah.
It's on a higher level of action choreography.
Yeah.
There's one part in particular which I would say unquestionably is the best scene of the year.
Yeah.
Is, of course, if you've seen Violent Night, you know what I'm talking about. The shed hammer fight.
It's up there with the Speed Force.
Yes. Yeah. If the Oscars does that thing this year, which they aren't, I guess they got rid of that.
Because of that.
Because of that. But they should vote greatest moment of 2022 is the shed fight.
Yeah,
from
Violent Night.
Where it is just David Harbour just wrecking people with a sledgehammer.
Like trained mercenaries or something.
Yeah, trained mercenaries destroying people with a sledgehammer set to Christmas Time.
Yes.
Which is like the most innocent sounding song ever. But it's so funny that because the song literally starts with, we waited all through the year.
Yeah.
And right before that starts, and I was like, yes, we did.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
We did wait all through the year, but now the day is finally here. And then Harbour's just smashing people with a hammer.
Yes.
It's amazing. It like I said in our review, I think it's the best action sequence since the dog scene in John Wick 3.
Yeah.
Like, it's really, really
good. It's very well choreographed and everything.
And it's just the music, it just flows to the music.
Yeah.
It's just great where they're just like, it's something about Christmas time. It's like some guy's getting like chopped up in a snow blower or something.
Snow blower. It's like great.
It's really good. So yeah, I would highly recommend Violent Night. I've actually done like 2 or 3 videos about this movie.
Yeah.
Before. So yeah, that's our number one movie for 2022.
Yes.
So that is going to be it for our
top 10
year in
top
review.
11, 12 or whatever.
Top something of 2022 and or 2017.
2017. Depending on how you look at it.
Yes. So if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, like and subscribe, and you too can feel the strength welling within. See ya.